In today's video, I'm going to talk about mic placement. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Luis Torres, and today we're actually going to talk about mic placement. Where exactly do you decide on where to put the mic? And that eventually boils down to what is it that you are trying to go for. So one of the things that I was told by a few different engineers who own their own recording studios, you know, at first I remember trying to figure out, okay, I have one mic, let me try to sort out where to place it. And dude, I just had no idea what I was doing. So more often than not, I kept hearing, put it in the center cone and go from there. And go from there where? Go from there, take the mic and angle it this way, put it straight on, like what? And the more research I did, the more I talked to different engineers, they eventually, most of them just said, hey, you need more than one mic. Don't think that you're going to get one mic and it'll be fine. It's fine within reason as long as you know how to adjust the EQ later. And I didn't. So I'm like, okay, plan A isn't working. Plan B, let's figure it out. And a few guys just said, get yourself another mic. And more importantly, get yourself a mixing board. And I'm just like, okay, blindly, like legit. Someone said, get a mixing board, get a mixing board. I, of course, buy a mixing board and then buy a backup mixing board because in my mind, I'm eventually going to open up a venue and calling it Louis Square Garden. So stay tuned to Louis Square Garden someday. So this is the entire ordeal / gist with mic placement and, more importantly, using a mixer. So I am using my Laboga Mr. Hector, which is an absolutely incredible amp. I'm also using my Mesa 1936 212 cabinet that's loaded with Celestion V30s. I have two Pyle 78 microphones. I'm using one on the left, one on the right. And here's the goal that I'm personally going for. I want a high end and I want a low, predominantly low end / you hear that? Of mid. So I have one pointing at the edge of the dust cap of the of one of the left V30, right? So here's the center, here's the dust cap. I have it pointing right there. Okay? The other one I know will become the low end, so I actually have it right on the middle of the cone. Okay? About halfway between the top and the dust cap. So what that allows me to do is to have, you know, I'm the dude, the way I record is everything is one track. So if I were to record on a DAW, I can feasibly record and have one mic go to one track and one mic go to another track. And that's if you're using multiple tracks. In this case, it's just one. And I had to explain that to a few people, and they just said, what you want to do now that you have a mixing board is you can adjust the volume with regard to which one you're trying to go for. If you want more, if you're going to run that into Reaper, or whichever DAW you're using, do you want this track to have more low end or more high end? With that, I can use one track, two mics, and if I want it to be low end, the mic that I have pointing to the edge of the dust cap, which is naturally going to be much higher pitched and much more trebly, right? You lower that one, and then the other that is halfway in the middle of the cone that's going to bring out more of a bass tone, you increase the volume in that one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my guitar and play that way, and I'll adjust the two so you can hear exactly what's going on. So someone the other day, a few people were like, yo, your mics, they're out of phase, son. They're out of phase. They're canceling each other out. What it turned out to be, actually, was the fact that the mic that was closest to the center dust cap, the volume on that one was significantly higher, and I just didn't realize that was how my setting was. So I'm going to teeter totter between the two so you can hear the difference, and you guys let me know which one you prefer. So let me go ahead and grab one of my Jacksons and go from there. All right, guys, so I'm actually using, and I'm going to make a video with this specific Jackson, but this one actually has a Seymour Duncan dime bucker. This is one of my Jackson Professionals. This is the purplish one that I have. So my mixer, the way I have it set right now is, if you have a mixing board, then you know that center is just labeled as U. So they're both centered at U. The EQ is right smack down the middle. Again, the only manipulation that I'm doing is literally increasing one versus the other and switching it back. That way you get to hear which one you like. And for me, I actually prefer the lower end, which, if I'm not mistaken, is mic number 2 on here. So let's take a gander. Let me know which flavor you liked. For me, again, like I said, I liked number 2 because it's just more low end, and that's just my preferred option. But it doesn't mean that when you're recording that you're not able to have more of a high end on one track another set of guitars with something low end, and that's how you build this overall tone that you're looking for. Or, like I just did, have the two mics, have one a little louder than the other. Again, that's how I was told. So instead of me trying to figure out the whole, going crazy with the EQing, and son, that's exactly what I did. At first, I'm just like, I don't understand. I have a mic. It's placed where I think it's supposed to be. Now I have to adjust. If it was too high, I'd have to lower the treble. I'd have to put the mid a little higher, and then crank the, dime the bass, and still nothing. I'm just like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Is it that it's just in the wrong place as far as the mic goes? Nope. Put everything smack in the middle. Figure out where you want the mics to be. Pick a high point, pick a low point, and dabble until you find your tone as far as the recording goes. And that's it. Once you pick your tone, whether it's a balance, right smack in the middle between a high and a low, or if you want more low end with just a hair enough of a high end that you can hear it through the mix, then that's what you can do. But, I drove myself crazy, and some of you guys are just like, bro, I hate your channel because you don't mic anything. And of course, I was like, I'm pretty proud of the microphone that my phone camera has. Yeah, I've learned a lot over the last few months than in the last 2.5 years. So yeah, it's been like that. So again, if you're looking to record, by all means, one thing you can do is get yourself a mixer. I don't want to say use an interface because I'm currently using an interface. My microphones run to a mixing board that runs into my interface. So can you use an interface? Yeah, but you just don't have the fine-tuning controls. It's like having, I love my Boss Super Overdrive for what it does, but legit, that's why, I love my Pepper's Dirty Tree infinitely more because I have more control over the high and the low end, and that's everything. If you can control those two, you are absolutely awesome and going down the right road. So if you're recording, get yourself a mixer. It'll make your life a lot easier. That way you're not trying to figure out, I gotta place the mic here, it's the wrong spot. Dude, just figure out high, low, and adjust the volume as far as the one that is a little more pronounced, like the low end or the high end, or whatever your taste is that day. And hopefully this video helps you a ton. The recording that you just heard were literally using my two Pyle 78 microphones. So for all of those guys who are just like, come on, son, you're going to get what you pay for when it comes down to a $10 mic, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I would agree with you if we were talking about cars and you bought yourself a car for $1,000. Yes, I totally agree. But these are microphones, and it's literally a company called Pyle. And if you're my age, you definitely remember Block Pump and Pile Driver back in the 80s. They were huge companies back then. So for a $10 mic, bro, get one. Get one for $10, and you will see how you'll hear how absolutely incredible those $10 microphones are. All right, guys. Hey, listen, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, you jerk face. Don't make me go there and tackle you and put you in a double arm bar, jerk. I'm literally, it's funny, I actually have to upload like 4 videos today. I have so many things going on, and I did one earlier, so it'll be maybe 5 by the end of the day. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as usual, I'll talk to you guys soon.